Hi guys, it's Sean Johnny, your trusted realtor, and today we're going to have a look at the paperwork involved when a buyer is putting in an offer on a home. But first, if you'd like to receive all the Mississauga real estate news, see great home tours, and get buying and selling tips, then please subscribe to my channel. Remember, I'm speaking to people like you every day, and whether you're looking to move in 9 days or 9 years, I'd love for us to establish a relationship today, so I'll be ready to help you when the time is right. So the first form that you'll be filling out as a buyer, and this is before you put an offer in, it should be the RICO information guide. This is a new form that was introduced in 2024, and it's been implemented to try and bring greater transparency to real estate transactions. It outlines what you should expect when working with a real estate agent and the benefits of working with one. It also outlines the risks that you'll be taking if you try to represent yourself. It states that the contract that you're signing is with the brokerage and not your real estate agent himself. The agent is just a representative of that brokerage. It also states what will happen if there is multiple representation, and that's where the brokerage is representing both the buyer and the seller in the transaction. And finally, it's going to outline how you can make a complaint against your real estate agent if you believe that you have not been properly represented. Again, this form should be provided before any offers are signed. The next form you'd be looking at is a buyer representation agreement. This agreement would state that you are working with an agent to purchase a home. It would have a start date or a commencement date and an expiration date. Please note that when you're signing a buyer representation agreement, you will not be able to enter into or use another agent during the term of that agreement. Now, it'll also state the areas that you're looking in. Now, it should be specific. It should say each city that you're looking in, not just I'm looking in Ontario. And then finally, it'll state the commission that your realtor will be compensated. Now, be careful when you're signing this portion. If you agree to pay your realtor 2.5% and the listing agent is not paying out 2.5%, let's say they're only paying out 2%, your agent could require you or try to have you pay that extra 0.5%. So you've had everything explained to you. You've got the RICO guide out of the way, you've signed a buyer representation agreement, your realtor has by law ID'd you and made sure you are who you say you are, and now you've gone out and you've found your dream home and you want to put an offer in. So the next form you're going to be working on is your agreement of purchase and sale. The agreement will be dated on the date that it is signed. It will have the buyer's name as well as the seller's name, and the legal address of the property will be noted. They also have the dimensions of the lot, and then next, it'll state the amount that you are offering to the sellers. It will also speak to the deposit. Typically, we're looking for 3 to 5% of the sale price to be the amount of the deposit, but it is only a rule of thumb and the amount is negotiable. It will also state how you will be providing that deposit. Once you can provide it once the agreement is accepted, I will provide my deposit, or you can provide the deposit when you're giving the agreement, or you can also state any other method that you may be using to give the deposit. Next, it'll state the schedules that will be attached to the agreement. There are typically at least a Schedule A and B, but there can be more and sometimes less, but typically A and B are there. It will also have the irrevocable time of the offer, or the amount of time you're giving the seller to respond to your offer. And finally, it'll state the completion date of the sale, or the date that you will take possession of the home from the seller. On page 2 of the agreement, the chattels will be listed. Now, these are the items that will be remaining with the home. Be sure to be extra vigilant when checking this list, because once it's agreed upon what's staying, those will be the only items included in the purchase price. Now, below that is noted the fixtures that will not be included in the sale. Again, be sure to be vigilant and careful, because once it's agreed upon, it's agreed upon. And finally, there are the rental items which the purchaser will have to assume. Typically the hot water tank, but there could be some other things. Next, there's going to be the Schedule A of the agreement. This is where your realtor can insert various clauses to help you in the purchase as well as protect you. They can include the ability to do a home inspection, time to make sure your financing is in place, as well as a multitude of other clauses that can be inserted to help you out. Lastly, there is the Schedule B. It's typically the brokerage that is representing the seller that provides this schedule. This is from their office, and it speaks to how your deposit will be held, if they and your agent are able to advertise the sale, and also it speaks to who represents who, But each office, they have a different Schedule B, so it's important to read through it and verify that there's nothing in it that you're uncomfortable with. So that's the agreement of purchase and sale outlined. There's still one more form that would have to be signed that goes in with the agreement of purchase and sale and the Schedules A and B, and that's the confirmation of cooperation. So the confirmation of cooperation once again states the buyer and the seller's name, the legal address of the property, and then it outlines who's representing who, that the listing brokerage is representing the seller in this transaction, and that the cooperating brokerage is representing the buyer. It further states what commission will be paid to the buying agent. This is initial and signed by everyone so that it is transparent to everyone what the buying agent will be compensated in this sale. So these are all the forms that you need to have signed to have proper representation when putting in an offer on a property. I hope that you've learned something today from the video, and if you did, I'd appreciate it if you would like it. And even better if you could share it around. Remember, I would do it for you. So I want to thank you for taking the time to watch the video, and until our next video, take good care.